So hello everyone and welcome back to more for the 2023 Imperium Cup for Dune Imperium with the Rise of X and Immortality expansions. I am your host and commentator, the BlackShadow, and today we're having a look at coverage from Group L. This is featuring players mainly sort of from Western and Central Europe. And today's match here is me featuring Sandino, Toll, Vernydub, and Hersheylim. Here's a look at the group going into this. 5 games played, so a bit of distance remaining in this, but you'll notice the 4 players are all about the same sort of position. All of them kind of middle-ish sort of table. Hersheylim is on the back foot out of all the players, but all of them definitely can look to make some progress with this group here. So it's a pretty big game when you think about it. Whoever wins this match is definitely going to get a huge boost in the chances for qualifying to the next round. Definitely, I think, pressure probably on Hershey to try and get at least a couple of points out of this game, minimum. I think the last place would be looking pretty bad, but who knows here, to be fair. Sandino, if he can get a win as well, would catapult him right up into qualification, fall straight to the knockout, and especially the quarterfinals. It gives himself a really good chance of it with some distance to go, but we'll see how things proceed. Expecting a lot of fighting as well in this one. A lot of these leaders, apart from Vernydub, all of them have taken very aggressive leaders. Lots of Rabans, been a bit of Tesia, some Hundro as well. Only Vernydub, who's played a laser, has had anyone of any kind of card drawing deciding of builds. So I expect that if we do see a lot of combat leaders, this could get pretty violent pretty quickly. But alternatively, if we see a lot of card drawers out there, you know, like your lasers and your Lidos and stuff like that, there might be a bit of scrambling in this game. And maybe players having to kind of play a match on not their best foot here. But we'll see how things proceed. I think this should be a pretty fun match regardless. I'm looking forward to this. Alright, so I guess I was ready for the match here. So, Toll is in the first spot, which means it'll be Sandino to pick first. Go have a look at the techs and rows and stuff. And it's a pretty meaty Talaxi row here. Genius Advisor is coming up here. Well, this is one of the promo cards. Probably one of the best cards going in the game. You definitely do see people willing to go early Steel Suits Research Station to try and pick up Paita. It's definitely very strong. Very good card. Chair-Dog's also not too bad as well, and Chair-Dog in particular has some great synergy with a couple of cards here. Sardaukar, Legion, and Opulence both pair awesomely with it. Even Dissecting Kit's pretty solid as well. This is a really good opening row for Chair-Dog, so I'd like to see some combination for that. It's a decent stuff going on. As for our techs, training drones and transports both fairly cheap. This usually goes to ships first. Training drones as an early pick can be really good. Spaceports, not as picked as much, might stay there for a little bit. And as for our leaders, a couple of strong early leaders here. Ilban and Tez, you expect to be picked pretty quick. There's going to be an awful spot here in first position for whether Lido gets picked in first. Always sucks here, but Tezzy taking in fourth, so it doesn't matter too much. And then you might see like a laser in second position would be my guess. So Tezzy taken in fourth, Vernydub taking Ilban in third, so it's first position to pick now. Yeah, you kind of want to pick Lido, but it's a bit scary to pick Lito. With potential Ilban in fourth. But Hershey is in a decent spot here. Picking Lido is actually going to be a definite problem for Ilban later on. That's going to cut him off here. Might see a Helena pick, though. There's some half-decent cards in the row, but we do see Lido picked. So, interesting to see how this biplay. Usually it's Ilban in front of Lito. This time it is the other way around. So, I'm curious to see how this is gonna react. This should be pretty interesting. The movement of the cards is a little bit spotty. Not the best of connections with the host here, so we'll do what we can. But yeah, let's get ourselves underway with the match here. So a laser in first position is always interesting. You can do it before or afterwards. Doesn't matter. So let's see some opening draws here. Lido has pulled pretty tricky. Both experimentations, but no faction access or ring. So this is going to upset things pretty early here. Ilban's got a little bit of everything. Yeah, get underway, kids. Tezia's got Diplo and ring first round. Oh my god, a laser's not picked faction access either. Wow, what a hand here. Well, this is going to be interesting. So I think the play for a laser is to put the dagger down. I guess you smuggle. I don't know. What do you do next round then? Do you go Arrakis maybe early here? This is a very awkward opening hand here. Do you go Smuggle or do you go Arakeen here? Smuggle it is. But this is going to be a pretty awkward second round here. So she can pay for a full space card as a laser. Guild Contacts allows you to pay a coin for a full space card. I don't know if a laser will do that right now. Might not. Leto has got the same issue here, though, as well. Like, no faction access for either of them is pretty crazy. It'll be interesting to see what Ilban decides to do here. Is he going to go full space? I don't know. Leto's going to open up with a trip to Arakeen. Finds his other dagger. So all three of these are surely going in. At least two are. It is the Solari Influence Skirmish here. Probably the best skirmish in the game. And Ilban's got a really weird opening spot here of what to do. Do you go fold space? With Leto to come in front? Feels kind of bad. But he feels bad giving it to Tezia. And so he still goes Wealth with intentions of Wealth Mentat, even with no factions taken. What a bizarre world. Tezia's going to go fold space. No question about that. I mean, you could also conceivably... She's eyeing up Hardy Warriors with the intention of Hardy Warriors and then Signet Ring, Shift 2 spacing. And you know what? That actually might be a better choice for Tezia. Specifically because you've got your Signet Ring immediately. Hardy Warriors and then shift it away. But you've got to be concerned there's a lot of daggers out there. So you're going to have to pump it here. So Tezia's going to get round 2 shipping. Almost certainly. Yeah, the connection is a little spotty here. So we're going to do the best we can to cover with this. Tezia, well, a laser can get the tech negotiation. She can buy troop transports if she wanted, but I don't think she will. She'll just take the spice and the negotiate and call it a day. Leto has to mine. I think Basin would be my guess here. Yeah, Imperial Basin. Oh, I would love to have seen him put in more troops, but it's really hard to do so. Mentat for Ilban. No, he's going to go to Carthag instead. Just going to build up some money. Allied Armada, first card off the deck here. Great to have, but it's going to be there a while. I assume Ilban just puts in the 1 troop here. Like, with this conflict here, like, he would love to get second place because he feels he can just go Wealth and call it a day. But surely Leto goes Wealth and cuts you off. So, I think I'd rather just keep the troops here for a future fight. It looks like he's going to agree here. It's hard to commit 2 troops if you've got to commit either 1 or all 3. So I think 1 is reasonable. So Tezia... oh my god. Tezia can't use her ring! It's all blocked! No tech negotiations, smuggling. All the maps been taken out here. It's a disaster for Tezia. She can't actually use a signet ring here. She has no valid moves. She has to reveal. That is wild. Wow, I don't know if that was part of the deal, but yeah, there's nowhere for Tezia to go. She has no legal moves. So Signet Ring does nothing. She'll grab Opulence here. Wow. So, no early shipping for Tezia. Obviously, it was intended just to put the ring somewhere, but it's been blocked. Alaze's going to reveal for 5. Chani's on the row. Sardu Kar. Surely you'd go Dissecting with the graph stuff. It looks pretty good. Needs to find a way to Chair Dog. Chair Dog's a really nice card for her. Just any grafting, any single icon grafting is great for her. Look, she's going to gamble with Dissecting Kit on the row. That's wild. And I think has paid a bit of a price here. Benny's sister shows strength and initiates about it. Cannot get Mahayim. I think that was really greedy from Toll. I can't say I like that at all. Like, what are you looking for there? Apart from Web of Power or Talaxu Master. Like, you know, there's some pretty decent stuff for you there. That was a very, very greedy rip of the road, in my opinion. But never mind. The leader's going to reveal for a couple. Free Persuasion. Just an issue, it's not too bad. Chris Knife also turns up, but not interested in it. I think that's fine. Treachery turns up in the row. Ilban with Free Persuasion. I reckon we might grab Chris Knife here. Action Access is alright. Might just opts for a liaison, calls it a day. I think I would have been interested in the faction access. It's also some money generation. Nothing to be done here, so Tezia will get the bump here, but obviously not what she was intending. And this is going to make it for a very interesting second round. Leto gets 3 coins. Ilban with a couple. Ilban cannot get Swordmaster just yet, so he's going to have to wait. And next up is Desert Power. So Victory Point Conflict. First and second place is both really strong here in round 2. Leto's got a bit of everything. I think Leto probably has to just go fold. It's kind of weird. I think you probably have to go fold space and hope you get to, like, Mentat. And then use your other... And then use your other faction card here. I feel like you've got to use all 3. Fold space is going to be good for you. In some form or another here. Alaza's got to put her card down first because they're 1 step ahead. Which is really tough here to know what to put down. Just going to go for both factions. I think that's fine. Leto has to fold space here. Yeah, this is forced. I suspect Ilban will just hit Wealth. He might also go Hagar Basin. No, just hit Smuggling. So Tezia with some options here. Steel Suits maybe to get your water back. Also to kind of try and get some kind of water neutrality. Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Especially when you've got both experimentations. It's either you go Imperial Basin now, or you go, like, Steel Suits. Difficult to know what else you might consider doing here. I'd definitely like to see Leto go Mentat with Signet Ring. I think this is a really good spot to do it. But Leto might end up going... I mean, the thing is, with the combat like this, Hardy Warriors is great. Because if you hit your Hardy Warriors, you're at the very least getting your water back. Says he just opts to experiment straight away, which I don't hate. A laser... Does a laser Hardy Warriors first here? She's got Diplo. I don't really see much else what you're doing here. I think Hardy Warriors is fine. Steel Suits doesn't feel so great because you've put your faction card down here. I like Hardy Warriors Secrets for a laser, I would say. I'd be in tune for that. Oh no! She's going conspiring. It's actually kind of clever, this. So she's actually going to generate 6 coins from Conspire here. 5 for the space, and a 6th one for 1 step ahead. So it's going to put her 1 away. So basically saying, well, if Ilban will not be able to ship here, but Ilban might just go Wealth. We'll see what happens. So Mentat taken. Has to chase with the Fremen you'd feel. And does. So Ilban's got a choice here. Ilban could just go Wealth here. And get his Swordmaster ready. Or does he Hardy Warrior this? Hardy Warrior, he's actually going to end up losing Swordmaster. Not that he really knows that. Wealth would guarantee it. How greedy is Ilban going to be here? Which way does he pivot? Hardy Warriors feels great here. It's such a good combat for it, but he's going to lose his Swordmaster. And maybe he realizes it, thinking, well, what's a laser put down? Yeah, having a look at a laser here. Trying to look what's happening. Both faction cards in hand, so maybe doing the maths. But he's going to go Hardy Warriors. So, Swordmaster is going to be history here. He will not be able to acquire it, assuming a laser's going to Conspire. So, he's going to have to try and live off Mentat, and Leto could cause him some real difficulties with that, and that's the thing that's interesting here. Ilban is not going to get unfettered access to Mentat, so might struggle here. I don't know what the right move is there. I really don't. Tezia's up. I think Tezia's got to go Steel Suits here for me. Steel Suits, take the water. Just opts for Wealth here. I think with both daggers in hand, I would have been really tempted to go Steel Suits, not going to lie. But opts not to. So here's the Conspire. So it's 6 Solari for a laser. Finds Bypass Protocol. It's pretty good. It's not the best row for it currently, but it's pretty decent. Nice to have that on hand in case some big cards come off. Leto's going to get to Steel Suits, and he's going to get the... Leto's going to get some free resources here, which is pretty nice. I like Leto's position here early. So, Ilban's going to get the victory. He is free to buy. He has atomics. I wonder if he gambles here. He does. Gambles at 3. And he can buy nothing. And that's the problem when you rip it at 3. Guild Ambassador, Negotiated, and Fopter are all out the price range. That is the risk you take. Tezia can't buy any of it. A laser can't buy any. No one can buy from any of these big cards. No one can reach it. Wow, that's amazing. A laser doesn't even have the spice for it either. That's pretty wild. I do think a laser has to grab Chair Dog, though. I think that's really important as a laser. I think grafting is such a key part of playing Immortality as a laser. You've got to go for graft cards. For me, it's Chair Dog and maybe even Spice Hunter or something. But for me, you've got to take Chair Dog here. Oh. I think that's a miss. So Lido's same position. So Lido's going to get hold of Piter here. Stitched Horror comes up next. Might that influence some early reveals next round? It's going to make Swordmaster really weird for a laser now. But maybe she just gives up on it. Think she should have gone Chair Dog, though. That is just me. So, combat to be resolved as per. Ilban gets the victory, but he's going to lose his Swordmaster here. Unless he flukes his Diplo to wealth. That's the only way that he... I mean, he gets the... Or he gets his Signet Ring to smuggling and bumps up. There are some outs here for Ilban. Does he find any of them? No! He finds nothing! What a hand! He's going to go Mentat here immediately. But now, the problem is when Ilban does that, well, he has no experimentations anyways. What a horror hand for Ilban. That's a bit of a tough draw. Tezzy is up. Tezzy's got to go Wealth of Opulence here, right? But the thing is, if Tezia goes Wealth of Opulence, she feels like she's probably not actually getting Stitch Horror if that's what she really wants. But it feels like a natural first move, and you kind of play it from here. So, a laser, interesting situation. She put down her Signet Ring. Interesting to see what laser's going to do here. You'd think a laser just smuggles with experimentation. I would probably just bump up as well and look to try and get the tier 2 later on. A laser, if she plays her experimentation, has to bump up as well. You have to threaten the... you've got to threaten the surgeon here. The Stitched Horror. So for me, for a laser, it's experiment, bump up on both tracks. Hit a city, get some troops in, and make sure you reveal first for Stitched Horror. Stitched Horror is probably a laser's best card in the game. And you've just got to go for it here. If Ilban decides to reveal early, then he reveals early. What you going to do? If Tezia gets Swordmaster and reveals early, what you going to do? You know, they're having a go of actions. For me, smuggle, bump up on both tracks. Keep yourself in the race for Stitched Horror. Ring to something, get some dudes in, and if people sacrifice an action, they sacrifice an action. That's the way I would proceed here. Laser's gotta bump up for Stitch, surely. It's pretty see-through, but you're in the position to go for this. Lido just mines it great flat. He's not got a great lot of offloads. He's hoping to find something. Well, Piter is interesting. What a find that is. That's huge. So here we go. The fun begins here. Ilban has got a huge amount of reveal. He's going to play his Diplo at least. Is Ilban going to sack off his action to get hold? Oh, he doesn't even have access to Stitched Horror. He doesn't have the experimentation. But Eliza doesn't know that. Tezia has to grab Swordmaster. Tezia, you'd feel, looking at it, probably ends up just playing Diplo here. Feels bad to reveal it as Tezia. Surely he's got to bump down for the spacing guild, you'd imagine. This is good for a laser in a way. She's happy to see this, because it means it's very likely that she is going to get hold of Stitched Horror now. Bar an Ilban no reveal, which isn't coming. Because surely Tezzy either uses Diplo or uses Experimentation to get there. Eliza can go Carfag. She can buy the Fold Space for free, because she gets a coin from Signet Ring. And I really do think buying the Fold Spaces is important, especially if you're going grafting. Fold Space cards are a huge way of getting around it. Finds Double Cross. Well, maybe might not buy the Fold Space card now. Yeah, and opts not to. I don't hate that. So, Lido's just going to pick up Training Drones here, I suspect. Training Drones just permanently funds Piter. So, and does indeed do so. So, Lido in a good, strong position early here. A little bit fortunate it's come down this way. Spice Allies turns up to a huge card. So, this is the bit that Laser is dreading here. Praying that Ilban doesn't early reveal. And he won't... I don't think he does early reveal because... I mean, he can't get hold of Stitched. But he might have designs on Guild Ambassador, maybe, or something. But it doesn't make a lot of sense. The only move he's got here is Arrakis. There's a couple of cards he probably doesn't want to see. He's got both Experimentations, Convincing, and his Signet Ring. He doesn't want to see his Signet Ring. I think he's happy to see anything else here. If you draw your Signet Ring, it's not a disaster, though. For me, I think it's Arrakis, and you don't really need to put the extra troop in, because you figure Tezzy is just going to go shipping a lot of the time. I think Arrakis is just a free move. If you had any Experimentations, like early revealing here would be huge, but he just hasn't drawn them. He goes Research Station. Wow, he's got 9. Wow, that was a hell of a commitment. But he's got 9, so I guess it's early Spice for Ilban. It's only round 3, though. Pretty wild. Bumps down, obviously giving up on the Stitched Horror, which is reasonable. Tessia Vernius has a choice here. Tessia Vernius does not have to play. She could reveal, but interstellar shipping is interstellar shipping, so I imagine we'll see her play here. I think it's fine. Stitch Hole is obviously a great card, but like you gotta go for this. So Ilban's gonna get a decent second place here. A troop for an intrigue and a spice is pretty good value. Laser's gonna get a pretty decent win, to be fair. 3 troops for that is pretty nice. Does a Laser Ekaz double cross Ilban to not let him get the cheap second place here? I've seen people do this, and she might well do it. Given the fact he's got an intrigue as well, I mean, I don't think there's any... I mean, he could have, like, reinforcements or something crazy. 4 Persuasion for a Laser. I think Guild Ambassador makes total sense. There's Stitched Horror. Unnatural Reflexes comes out now. Ilban's going to be interested. Does she double-cross this? It'd be pretty spiteful, but I don't hate the move. She's considering getting Gene Manipulation here as well. It's not a bad card, but I don't know if I'd be using Bypass for that. There's a lot of other good stuff out there. And you want to see as much Stitch Horror as humanly possible. You could argue that Gene Manipulation will cull some of the other cards out, and I guess there's some truth to that. But I wouldn't spend for it. Opts to let Ilban have it. So Leader reveals for 5. I suspect we'll see Ilban just get hold of, like, Negotiated or something here. No, he rips it. Oh, it's a gamble. Oh, my God. Imperial Bishop, Firm Grip found. What on earth? Gets a little lucky there, I think. There were some good cards for him. But Firm Grip taken. That's a big card for Hershey. So we've seen some gambles. Some that have worked, some that haven't. Ilban with 9 Persuasion. What on earth do you do here as Ilban? You've no atomics. Problem is, I don't think the row's good enough, really, to buy anything. Like, you could buy, like, Guild Accord, I guess. But I don't think it makes a ton of sense. I think he probably... Well, he's going to take Unnatural Reflexes all day. I think he buy the Spice. Yeah, I don't think the row's good enough. Just buy the spice. So round 3 spice taken by Verny. Jessica's going to reveal for 1 and not do anything. Leo had 6, by the way, I just noticed. And combat's going to resolve as per here. So Alaza's going to get the win. Alaza's going to need to offload some of these, some intrigues, though, pretty sharpish. She will be up for secret stealing. Ilwan's going to get a very nice, cheap 2nd place here. I feel like everyone's reasonably happy with their early situation here, the first couple of rounds. Alaza's got a couple good cards. Leto's, I think, got a couple of cards and is in a decent position. Ilban's got an early lead, and, you know, he's got Alamar to make him happy. Oh, my holy god. And Tezia's got shipping access to begin with, but it's not going to have it for too long. So, it's going to be interesting to see how this breaks down. Ilban maybe the least. I don't know. Ilban's at least got the early points, though, so we'll see what happens. I think everyone could be reasonably happy. Ilban pulls a natural immediately with his experimentation, which is huge and also not huge, because he's not ready to use it yet. Imperial Basin is next. More victory points. More water, which is good because there's none out there. So, Alaza will put down her dagger for the Swordmaster. Tezia's in a bit of a weird spot here, though, where she needs to use one of these intrigues. I'm curious to see, does Alaza Kaz take spice so she can bypass something? I don't know what's going to happen here. Tezia pulls really awkward, so she's going to try and mentor her way out of the situation. I think she has access to shipping, obviously, and she's hoping no one can pip her, which is a little dangerous. But she's hoping to find a card that she can use and get some troops in. I think she has intentions of going for this combat. She finds a Diplo, which is pretty big. So Elite Kaz has a variety of options here. Could go smuggling. Could hit fold space for shipping next round to maybe, like, target spice satellites. Could go secrets to protect your intrigues. You could go still suits for war and putting troops in. Alaza's got all sorts of options here. But she is concerned about secret things. She's found plans within plans, which is obviously huge. So she's got to make a decision. She feels like she's probably got to defend her intrigues in some form. Either by going secrets or using something. I'm curious to see how Alaza's going to look to proceed through here. Does she gamble that she can get through to her Swordmaster without anyone secret stealing? Because if plans and plans goes missing, it feels pretty bad. It's kind of a weird spot for Alaza. There's a lot of options. Looks like she is going to opt to go smuggling, which I think is fine. No, she doesn't. Okay, didn't expect that. I mean, I don't hate the move because there's no water out there, but it wasn't what I was expecting. So it looks like she's gonna... She was thinking about bumping up, but she's gonna... Yep, she is bumping down to get hold of the card trash, which I think is good. You obviously want to see Stitch as much as possible. Get rid of some of those starter cards. So dagger goes. The other dagger will go fairly soon. Also lets her deploy troops as well, so I don't hate this move at all. Do we see bypass protocol right away? Oh, it's going to gamble here. Oh, this is dangerous. This is real dangerous, this. Leto's probably going to conspire here, and he does. I love how back in the days, like, no one conspired, and now a lot of people do. I think it's pretty funny. So that gets him ready for Swordmaster. He finds Stage Incident, which is crazy. So if Ilban wants to use our natural reflexes, he has to experiment twice. And there's no way he can do it. There's no way he's going to get natural reflexes off here because Imperial Basin got taken. This is pretty bad times for Ilban. He's not going to be able to get the second research off here. And there's nothing he can do about it. Is Ilban just eyeing up going like High Council here? I don't even hate going High Council. I don't think it's a terrible move. So here's the trash. Dagger goes. Tezzy with 3 actions. Does she just go Fold Space and protect here? Or does she go Steel Suits? She gets double water for Steel Suits. Oh, no. She's, her second snooper was the Emperor. Oh, no, the second snooper was Spacing. The first one was Emperor, so... Kind of an unusual route taken here by Tezzy. Normally, it tends to be Spacing and Fremen the first 2, and then Emperor and Bene Gesserit the last 2, but, curious route been taken here. Kind of forced from the situation. Opulence obviously made that happen. Tezzy just opts to go trashing cards here with Selective. I don't hate this when you've got a lot of actions to play. I think this is fine. Signet Ring found. Other Experimentation found. There was cards she was looking for and she's not found them. I think she was looking for Opulence. So, Eleazar's going to get to Swordmaster here. Again, do you play something? I think she feels like she's got to play Bypass here. It's getting very scary with Secrets just sitting there. It's getting very scary, but it's gonna be brave here. Lido has his ring. Just goes Hagar Basin, so he can use it, of course. Makes sense. He'll make the chase with the Spacing Guild, you would imagine. And I assume a laser's just going Forward Space here. So he's going to put the 3 troops in. The thing is, though, is he actually going to go ahead and stage right away or not? Tiura's decent. So Ilban's up here, so he has the choices. I do not hate Ilban going High Council. I don't hate it. I think it's actually not a bad little move. Gets it done now. You're going to have to wait a little while for your Swordmaster. Yeah, I like this move. I think this is a good time to do it. Wow. Pulls Liaison and along with the High Council. So he's at 6 Persuasion. Possibly 7 if he wants it. So he might be going Guild Accord. That's a huge draw for him. Tezio 2 actions. Has nowhere to... Well, she can obviously go shipping. It's whenever she wants here. Might go Carthag first, but if she wants a piece of the conflict, she'd want to ship first. So she ships first. I think up and down shoot transports looks pretty good to me. This is what we do see. Goes down for the intrigue, so that tells you she's after the conflict. Finds to the victor, which is pretty insane. So Tezia is going to commit herself here. But it doesn't look like she's actually going to win this. Not without further troops in, but I don't know if she's actually going to or not. Interesting how this is going to play out. All 3 are going in, I suspect, here. Yep, and they are. But Eleazar's the one with the intrigue. So if Tezia wants to win this fight, she's going to have to commit more. And when Eleazar, if she goes Fold Space, which my assumption is she will, she's going to feel like she's might not need to put in any more troops, but she definitely does. I mean, ultimately, if Eleazar can't win this conflict, there's nothing she can do here. It's like, or Tezia can't win it. If Eleazar wants to win it, she can. And I suspect she will. Gets a shipping bump, wherever. 3rd snooper is a double bump. 4th snooper is the bonus resource. I would imagine Tezia would probably bump Fremen to get the intrigue from the Bene Gesserit last? No. I mean, there is no water out there whatsoever, so I don't hate this. It's a very atypical game, this. This is way off the beaten track, but it's kind of interesting for that. I think Eleazar is going Fold Space, surely. It feels like it. It's a nice nondescript move, gets you ready for shipping. It's also non-provocative as well. Oh, double crosses right away, though. Ooh. Ooh. I would like to have seen Tezia somehow wait. There's only 1 action left. But she does it right away. And that's the problem, is that is going to provoke a response from Tezia here. If you somehow find a way not to do it, I don't know if Tezia puts in more troops or not, but Eleazar decides not to wait to find out. So Lido has 5. Leto pretty sure he's not going to win this conflict, he must feel. So he might end up staging anyways. It's not a great row for 5. Might go Bashar, but no, just passes. 5 persuasion buys nothing. That feels bad. Hershey's going to be pretty... I mean, I wouldn't have hated Bashar. Ilbam is 6 and the Specimen. Look at all these good graph cards out here for a laser. Slick Farmer and Chair Dog. 2 of like some of the best cards out there. I don't hate going... Yeah, Guild Accord, I don't hate it as Ilban. Like, you need to get these points eventually. So, Tezia's going to respond at Carfag, and she's going to just punt it in. But Tezia might feel that she can't win this. But she's going to Signet Ring anyways. Because I think she wants to get hold of this Fremen Water. I think she's very interested in it. She can't feel too good about winning. Not without further help. Arakeen doesn't feel great here either. Is eyeing it up. 2 cards to draw. Opulence and Convincing. Yeah, didn't want to take the risk of pulling here. So picks up Dispatch. That's an amazing card for Tezia. But it means that she probably thinks she can't win the conflict. But she's going to commit herself anyways, as I thought she would. To the Victor just seems too strong. But it's not going to be any good here. Wow, drops the Bene Gesserit to do it. I don't know about that. Yeah, I mean, you've taken your Snooper Emperor, though, so it's going to be hard to get that back up, so I don't hate it. So, extra bump and the water taken. Tezia gets all 4 Snoopers gone by round 4, which is pretty quick. I don't know if she's got a lot to show for it, though. So, a laser to take the swords, obviously. So, leaves 2 to buy. I'd love to see Quartermaster taken here. Ah, this is such a good card for grafting. A laser's just not going to go down a graph route, really. Sword for Tezia. 4 to buy. Tezia does have her atomics. She might opt to blow the row here. She's the only person remaining with them. She'll take the Beetle, which I think is not unreasonable. Eyeing up Bashar. I don't think it's a great card for Tezia, though, specifically. But you have got Dispatch and Envoy. Nah, rips the row. I think this is the right call. See what you find. Do you get lucky? Some interesting... Negotiate withdrawal, Thumper. Wow, Clandestine Meeting here, when you specifically have Dispatch and Envoy in your hand, is amazing. Ah, it's going to go Negotiated, though. I'd be a bit worried about how you think... I mean, you've got Troop Transports, I guess. So I don't hate it. But Clandestine as Tezia, I think she should be looking to pick that up before this game is out and dispatching it. It's an amazing card for that. So, combat will be won by Laser after the Tactician. Surely takes the 3 swords. And that's going to be good. So does... Yep, Leto does stage it. Not interested in the water. He would just take the point and call it a day. Tezio has no response. So a laser takes down Imperial Basin. Tezio will have to sit with the 2 water, which we'll have to do. Not quite what she was after, but, I mean, it's not a terrible, terrible price. And we get ready for round 5. Spy Satellites in the tech row. Minimix up there as well. Some really good stuff. So through the chaos is the Mentat conflict up next. Tezia Vernies needs to start getting more money together for Opulence. She's got to start finding points for that. Laser gets her stitched down. Bit of a tricky hand other than that, though. No shipping access found. It's kind of unfortunate. Not a lot you can do about that, though. It's the way it goes. What I would love to see a laser ECADS do is actually bypass protocol Clandestine Meeting and draw it into my hand to play with Stitched Horror. Like, either via Mentat or an Arakeen trip. I would love to see a laser ECADS do that. Clandestine Meeting is great for the bump and the injury. It's a really good Asian action. Obviously, the problem is activating it. But when you've got Bypass and Stitched in your hand, it's a perfect opportunity to get this in your hand, considering you've got no shipping access anyways. That's what I'd love to see a laser do. bypass Clandestine, draw it, use it with Stitched Horror, maximum benefit. Especially when you've got plans within plans as well. You need those faction bumps. And if you can't find the shipping, well, that's another way to get around it. I don't know if Toll's going to see it, though. It's not an obvious move by any stretch of imagination, but what else are you using Bypass Protocol for here? She might eye up just going Minimic and reassessing here. Oh, no! Oh, well, she finds Guild Admin, which is also a good card for her. But I really would love to have seen... it. So, Lido is going to get shipping. He just got to decide if he wants to do it with Piter or the Initiate. I'd imagine you just do it with Piter every day here. Pretty much. Ilban's kind of annoyed to be losing Mentat, but I said at the start, I was like, I don't think he's going to see a lot this game. And that's exactly what's going on. People are drawing kind of awkward hands, though. So, here comes all the trashing. Lido is going to get to his Swordmaster. Ilban's still got to wait for his, obviously. Yep. Didn't draw it. Ilban's hand is also kind of difficult here. Ilban surely should just take Minimic and reassess, which is exactly what he does. Ilban's just got a brute force Spice Must Flow here, in the absence of much else. I think that's the way to proceed. Flagship turns up. I think someone's going to grab that before this game is said and done. If Ilban can get hold of Spice Satellites as well, and just absolutely just bomb buying Spice, he might be able to get out of this situation he's kind of found himself in. Tesia with a lot of options. Opulence can't be played here, really. Dispatching an experimentation to a faction looks great, though. I actually don't hate, like, dispatching to, like, secrets, or even dispatch Hardy Warriors. Water neutral, put the free in, put your claim down for the combat. You also want the money as well to pay for further opulence. She's eyeing up maybe, like, smuggling or something. Which I don't hate. But I'd rather be dispatching. I think Hardy Warriors is a really good opportunity to get the Alliance. You've got to the victor. You need to win a fight somewhere. And this is a great opportunity to do that. I think if you Hardy Warriors and put 3 in, like, you're just going to win this fight, like, so much of the time. So much of the time here. You don't have to Hardy Warriors right now, though. Like, you have all the water. No one else has any, so I guess you could do it later. But I'd be like to get in front and just keep people away. Yeah, just smuggles figures well for shipping later on in the game. I don't hate this. This is fine. But I would like to see Tesia Hardy Warriors next action. Get in front. Try and keep people away from getting invested into this fight here. Just close it out ASAP. It's a bad conflict for Ilban as well, because he can't win it. He's got no alliance either. No garrison. This is a weird old game, this. Really strange game, this. But it's fascinating. Eliza's got her guild admin. Stitched Horror is down. Surely she's got to feel like she's got to try and get ahead on this faction here. I don't think there's any way she can get the 2 bumps and reveal guild admin. I don't see any way she can do that. But just getting the faction bumps is good for plans. So Stitch will be played. I don't know what she plays it with. I would just play it with guild admin. And just go like Carthag or something. Or Arakeen. I think that's what I would be doing here. Diplo doesn't need to be played with Stitched Horror, really. I wouldn't hate an Arakeen trip. Cycling your deck is obviously just good as a laser. But I think she might persuade herself to go to selective breeding with this. And I think that's what she's going to do here. No! Conspiring! Wow! She finds ambush, which is crazy, given the small amount of troops that are around here. It's terrible news for Tessia that that's come out, by the way. Tessia's in trouble here. Didn't see a Conspire. Is that the third Conspire of this game? It's pretty wild. Water and Beetle taken from Stitch, which is the usual ones. I'm going to consider trashing the dagger out, I'm not going to lie. Swordmaster for Lido. Lido finds firm grip. He's going to be using that, surely. What does Ilban do here? He's got his Diplo. Surely you just use it. You kind of want to get involved with the fight, but how can you ever expect to win it? Or get much from it? You could go Steel Suits with trying to go Haga Basin and picking up Spice Satellites. I don't hate that. Oh... Oh, it feels bad. But he pulls a 2 persuasion card so he's able to buy Spiceman's Flow. Because he's got tech negotiation. So that was a hell of a brave draw. I guess he had recruiting missions. So yeah, Ilban's just gonna buy as many Spiceman's Flows as humanely possible and just try and brute force this. Ilban has got to be looking to go after Spice Satellites. It feels like that's the way he's playing this game here. Tessie with a couple of actions. Second attempt to Hardy Warriors, but it's pretty uncomfortable now that Eleazar has gone conspiring. It's pretty scary. It's pretty scary stuff. Eleazar definitely suggesting she's interested in this. Is Eleazar going to buy a Dreadnought here? I think Eleazar's going Dreadnought in. Tessia has Dispatch. She can pick up the bonus spice by using the experimentation. I think she's looking at maybe going... I'm curious to see what she's going to do here. Where's she going to go? Is this Hardy Warriors? No, just going to Steel Suit. So it's going to have a lot of water here. A lot of water. It's 5 water for Tessia Verse. It's pretty crazy. Puts the troop in anyways. What's she going to do here? Take the influence bump? It's kind of a weird one. Like, if you take the beetle, you're getting the spice. But she's going to bank that she can get them before anyone else anyway. So it's a little bit brave here from Tessia. Might just take the Emperor bump to be done and dusted with it. I don't know if you actually want to be going Emperor anymore. You just want to be revealing Opulence. But maybe maybe one more wealth trip is possible. But I would be taking the Emperor bump here. Get it done. Takes the pressure off. You don't need to worry about it. Focus on a second alliance and just rock and roll from there. And that's exactly what we do see here. Eleazar Ekaz is buying Dreadnoughts, I think, here. Is Eleazar Ekaz buying Spice Satellites with the Spice? No, she high counsels it. Okay. I don't hate that. But I thought she was going to go Dreadnoughting there. And I think Dreadnought might have been a better move. Lido will firm grip. He's going to obviously start looking to chase some bumps here. So Ilban's going to reveal for 9. And it's the second Spice of Slow Point. He's going to do his damnedest to try and keep his head above water here. But it's getting harder and harder for Ilban. Sacking off Diplo there. Very painful. You feel like Ilban's going to try and make a play for Spice Satellites here. Tessie is kind of in no man's land here. Hits the Fremen, so he's going Hardy Warriors anyways. Trying to convince Eleazar not to get involved. It's not going to work, however. Eleazar's going to get a piece of this, surely. Well, that helps. Man alive. I think Eleazar now has to fight because she needs to get cards off to deal with plans within plans. And protect that. There's nothing really there to bypass. So I think Eliza now is going to have to fight. And she does. So, a bit unlucky here for Tezia, perhaps. It's the way it goes, but, you know, it's how it is. Leto takes the specimens for a beetle, finds refocus, which is okay. He's got 5 persuasion. He's eyeing up refocusing right now to go for, like, Gurney or something, but decides not to. Tezia is going to reveal for the point with opulence. She's going to get the money back at least, or some of it, so it's not a bad spot here for Tezia. She's accumulating quite nicely. But she's going to be very reliant on these opulence points here and a second alliance. Tezia might get to like 8 or 9 and just kind of get stuck. I'm going to see how this proceeds out here. I wonder if Tezia Verney is... Nah, she can't ever pay for the beetle bumps because she needs it for opulence, so... I think that signifies some research station intent here. Eliza's going to reveal for 4. Really, really, really want to see her take Clandestine. But I don't think she will. I think when you've got plans, like, if you want to get this off, you've got to be really... You've got to go for it. You've got to be really aggressive. You've got Stitched. You've got the grafting. I just think it's a really good spot for Clandestine. I just think it's such a good card for Eliza in this specific situation. And then next round, like, you top deck, like, Chair Dog or something. It's just such a good strategy for Eliza. I'm surprised that he hasn't really gone hard into it. But maybe Toll just doesn't play Eliza very much. I mean, you know, a lot of these players are usually play very combative style leaders. So it might just be that Toll's just not played Eliza very much. But that's the way I would suggest it with Eliza, is play aggressive. Go for grafting and just go all in on it. Works more often than not. I have a feeling she's going to take like Fremenkamp or something here. Yeah. There's battle tendencies coming through. Clan Coupling. It's another great card, but she's going to grab that. 100%. That's another one of Eliza's like really, really good cards. So, Eliza's looking a good chance of catching up here. Combat will proceed. What does Eliza play? Does she play Second Wave or Ambush here? Both are good. Not that she realizes it. Second Wave has better potential with getting troops in, which is why she plays the Ambush instead. So, Tezia will not win this either. Just kind of the way it's drawing out for Eliza here. So, Eliza will get the Mentat. Both of them get an Intrigue along with their money. Machine Culture found here for Eliza isn't great for her. And Tezia Vernys finds Rapid Mobilization, which is crazy. That's a big one if this goes another couple of rounds. Next up is Arrakis for round 6. More victory points in the conflict. Here we go. So Leto is up first. Many options to take for the shipping here. I think I'm probably taking the experimentation. He cannot get flagships. Doesn't have enough. Does Duke Leto ever take spy satellites here with the intention of just hard trashing it? I don't know. Leto could also play his Signet Ring and, like, say, double bump the Spacing Guild to get in front. I wouldn't have hated that either. But he opts to use his experimentation, so I suspect this is going to be a pretty nondescript bump towards, like, the Bene Gesserit. We might go Emperor here. But I don't think he's ever going Spacing. If he's going Spacing, he'd use his Ring. Ooh, so Leto just goes down and up. I really wouldn't mind seeing Leto take Spy Satellite, especially when it's so good for someone like Ilban here. Yeah, just takes the Emperor bump. There's going to be a race on here for this this Talaxu point now. Ilban gets his card draw finally, so he's just going to go the spy. So here we go. He's hoping for Council. He finds the other Dispatch and Envoy, which is pretty amazing. 2 cards drawn. There's a dagger. Oh, it's a bit of a difficult hand, though. So, curious to see what Ilban's going to do. He really wants Spy Satellites, but he also wants his card draw. But I think Spy Satellites is just better for Ilban in this specific situation. I'd be willing to sacrifice Swordmaster for a round for it. Tessia Vernis is up. Negotiator is in hand, but has no garrison. And I don't see an easy way for her to create it either. Signet Ring is only... Her Signet Ring is only access now. The Snoopers are all done, so Duplicity has no effect. I think we're going to see a trip to... Yeah, here's the research station, as mentioned earlier. Oh, Tessia should have trashed first. Should have trashed first there. Well, might just get rid of, like, Recon anyways, I suspect. Yeah, and does. I think that's fine. So, refines Opulence. So, good spot here for Tessia. Tessia's in a decent position. A laser's up. A laser put down Experimentation for her graft. She's hoping to find... Well, Planned and that are both in there. She might get lucky and find one, though. She's hoping to find a graft card here, I think. 1 in 4 that she finds it. It's not terrible odds. It's going to be a bit better than that, actually. There goes the other dagger. So, draws 2 more. What do you find here? Guild Ambassador. It's not what she was looking for. I think Tessie's going to hope she gets to smuggling here, but I don't think it's that likely. Lido's up. Does Lido... No, he just Carfax. He wants a piece of the conflict. Finds Tacticians. He's going to feel pretty good about this. You probably don't even need to put the troop in, to be fair. Like, I would have been tempted to keep it out. And Ilban does! He does sack off the action for Spy Satellites. This is a huge tech for him. It's a good spot by Vernydub to realise the better value there. And no one got in the way of it. So that is an enormous, enormous boon for Ilban. That is just 2 or 3 points worth of value. Well worth sacking off the Swordmaster for. So good vision there from Vernydub. That's going to get him back in the game here. It was looking to get a bit difficult. Tessie's up. Does Tessie just go secrets here? Bene Gesserit looks like a decent alliance to make a punt for. She agrees. Oh, she finds Choam shares, but she's already running with Opulence. Wow. Well, this is interesting now for Tessia. She might just, at some point, just smuggle and take cash. But shipping is coming up next round. Surely a laser smuggles here, and does. Surely takes the spacing bump. I would have thought. She'll get an intrigue with the beetle bump here. Oh, finds a penny bump! So that gets played immediately. Secrets was safe, it should be noted, but not taking the risk. So where do you take the shipping bump here? I think it's spacing for me. I think it's spacing for me. Take some spice. Look to go machine culturing for like wind traps or something. Get to maybe... Oh, here's an interesting move. Machine culturing wind traps to get the water to then hit Great Flat. That looks like a fun move. Lido's going to High Council and chase. So this is his Bene Gesserit point. So he's all got all his friendships. That's all done. Ilban's going to reveal for 2, 3, 4, 6. He's got 9! Oh my god, Ilban has 9! That's a third spice in 6 rounds. And Ilban's just going to build, but he's got all of them. He's not trashed any yet, so his hand is full of Spicer's flow cards. Tessie's got to go Great Flat here, surely, you'd think. Oh, she doesn't! Oh, she doesn't! Oh, she Arakeens it because she wants money to pay for Opulence and Choam shares. Oh, a laser ECAS. I would love to see it. Wind traps, machine culture. And take Great Flat. I'd love to see it. I don't know if she does it or not. I don't really see what else you're doing is the problem. Could go Hager Basin as well, which is also fine. But I think Wind Traps, like, getting extra water is going to be really good. It gives you absolutely gobs of spice. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. She's got 10 persuasion. So you could just literally Wind Traps, take the spice, and then reveal for Spice Must Flow. And you want the spice for Guild Chief Admin, right? I think that's the move for me. Because Tezzy's expecting to get this spice, and it's going to really hurt her when you take it away. That's the move for me. Wind Traps, Experimentation, Great Flat. Have a bucket ton of spice. Just reveal, Spice Must Flow, Guild Admin. That's 2 points right there. And it's up to you if you want to put any troops on or not. Probably not. I'd probably save them. I think that's the move for me as a Laser Kaz here. I just don't see what else you've got. You can just go Hager Basin. But then you're basically saving Machine Culture for what? You can't be buying flagships of Machine Culture because you need it for Guild Admin. So I think it's asking too much here. Unless you're going to Machine Culture Spaceport? But again, like, your spice is already committed elsewhere here. You've no Bene Gesserit to go to. You don't have access to Siege. Unless you're buying Dreadnoughts. But you've got, like, just the perfect amount. You've got, you know, 10 persuasion. If you take Benny as the influence here. So you can do one move and reveal for Spice Must Flow. That's the way I see it for a Laser Kaz. I just don't see what else of any of use here. You've shown that you're not interested in buying Fold Space cards. Though I think you should definitely consider it. Because the plans have been plans. You don't have to experiment to take the spice. You could just use Signet Ring and do it. I think your laser's just going to take Hager Basin here. But I would have liked to have, like... especially the ones your hand is kind of, like, weird in that it makes it really difficult for you to get more intrigues because you can't necessarily offload any of these. It looks like a laser's just going to go Hager Basin and just take spice, which is also just totally fine. I just feel like Gathering Wind Traps is slightly sharper here. You could also hold on to it and hope that when someone takes, like, flagships somehow, I don't know how anyone else is going to get flagships this game, that, like, Memo Cord or something peels off and you get hold of it. But that's pretty optimistic. Whatever Eliza does, I think she should only take one action, and I think she should definitely reveal for the Spice Must Flow, whatever she does. Eliza, I assume, is going to bump up. Wow, she bumps down, so she's very nervous about getting hold of this. She's nervous about getting hold of the Beetle here, which is correct, to be honest. I wouldn't deploy, and I would just look to just reveal and call it a day. Take the spice. The leader reveals for 5, and his Specimen. He is not ready to get hold of the Talaxu spice, so Tezia is going to find it. Liaison taken. I don't hate it. But, I don't know. Again, bad row for 5 here. He could have refocused and tried to pull 6 for Gurney, but opted not to. Did he take a second liaison? He did. Oh, I don't know about that. So Tezia gets the Opulence point. She gets the Talaxu point and the Spice. Tezia's going to get to 8 here. And Choam Shares is in the back pocket for 9. And if she can get hold of the Bene Gesserit point, she might try and just close this out next round. Bene Gesserit, Choam Shares, call it a day. And she might feel she needs to end the game quickly. I certainly don't feel Tezia's got as much of a end chance of this game than other people. She's got 6 to buy. I mean, Gurney can't be bad. Worm Riders can't be that bad. I think I'd be picking Gurney, personally. That's just me. You know, you've got potential of redraw. Like, if you find Gurney Halleck for Research Station next round, you're probably just going to win the game. So it's Gurney for me. And then a laser, yeah, a laser just 100% should just reveal and take the Spice Must Flow and take the guild admin point and then go back from there. I would say her chances of scoring plans within plans are getting more and more difficult as we go here. Yeah, does reveal. So I think the way laser is totally fine. Again, I would have preferred wind traps. It's not a big deal. But definitely reveal and do this. Tezzy is going to get 4 coins here for a troop, which is absurd, really. Huge value for Tezzy Vernius, who's maybe been slightly fortunate how this is broken down a little bit, but that's the way it goes. It's going to resolve as is. So Tezia gets a bucket of money. Lido gets the point. And we're going to move on. Round 7, here we go then. No one is ready for Highlanders or anything along those lines. And it's economic supremacy. And there's not a lot of resources out there. And Lido's drawn firm grip. Mentat immediately for Ilbarn. I mean, his hand is getting worse and worse here. Well, I'm kind of not surprised to see him go for that. You know, he's got less obligation to go factions. He's no shipping. Is what it is. Should bring for a laser, but never mind. So Tezia Vernius finds Gurney Halleck. Oh my goodness me. So Tezia just ships and takes Bene Gesserit and then just goes research station and wins the game, right? And it's just over. Ship take money for Choam shares. Gurney Halleck research station, and surely it's just over. Surely it's just over here. It has been kind of a weird match. It looks like it's it. Yeah, Tezia surely... I don't see how she's going to lose the Bene Gesserit either. I think she might get threatened, but I don't think you're in any particular danger here. You've always got potential for... And rapid mobilizations also means if she actually pulls negotiate withdrawal, she can actually retreat and take rapid mobilization and put them back in, which is insane. Vicious Talents is found, which is going to be +6 swords at the end of this. Tezia Vernius has got to just use Choam shares right now. Can't let Choam shares go here. Surely that seems kind of crazy. She needs to research as well. Just reminding of that. Deciding whether to take the money or not. You just bump up here. Never takes the money here. Never pays for the extra beetle. And just pay Choam shares. You don't want to risk it. It's just a point. She's considering using rapid mobilization. But I would actually probably keep hold of it. Because you might research and find negotiated withdrawal. And you can retreat and then take troops back in. Like, just play Choam shares. Like, I think you've won this game. No one's getting the research station here. I don't think you have to bother about surprising people without Choam shares. I think you can just safely play it and just call it a day. I don't think there are times to be a bit more discreet about it. I do not think that's one of those times. I think the players are pretty much expecting this to be the last round. So Rapid just gets thrown away, basically. You can do that because 0 is a number. Would have liked to have seen it just play Choam shares and call it a day, but I don't hate not doing it, I guess. But that's just the way I look at it. Like, when you know you're going to get hold of research station, you know, if people are going to go for your alliances, they're going to go for them anyways. You playing Choam shares, I don't think it's going to make a big difference, but, you know, it's not a big deal. So a laser is up. A laser put down Stitched for her graph card. So, keeping up planned coupling. A laser is eyeing up selective breeding. I think selective breeding seems like a pretty natural opening move. And then you could maybe even look to hit wealth and at least get 1 point from plans. You can get a point for plans for free factions. It's either that. I mean, the problem is, like, you look at the Fremen. How are you ever going to get the point there? I honestly don't think it's on. I think I would just go selective breeding, like, right away. Draw a load of cards. Try to hit wealth later on. Hope that Ilbarn doesn't get there. Oh, but if Ilbarn goes wealth, it is not a great feeling. But maybe there's worlds that you can go for the Bene Gesserit alliance. You know. We shall see. Depends how Eliza sees it. Eliza might feel this game is over, and she just needs to hold on to second place. So, plan coupling it is. Looks like it is going to be research selective breeding. She'll draw 3 cards. Trashes the Spice Must Flow, which will be noted, which means that she does not have Corner the Market. Players will now see that. They might think Ilban's got Corner the way he's playing. Wow, a laser Ikaz pulls Liaison and Double Convincing. What a crazy hand. Refocus for Lido. Finds Piter. Firm Grip, you'd feel he's got to just play it and call it a day. Which he will do. He's just got to take the Alliance and get a bump. I don't know where you take the other bump here. You don't have to, but you probably should bump something. But he might not bother to do so. But I also would say, what else are you doing with the money? You might as well bump something, yeah. Might as well bump it. What not? Ilban is up. Ilban has... He's going to dispatch, so he's off to Steel Suits. He's kind of hoping he finds his way to... I don't know what exactly he's hoping for. I guess he's hoping to get to Research Station, but he's never getting there. Off goes Tezia. This match is over. Who holds on for second place? That's the question here. I mean, Tezia, you gotta go to Research Station. Show him shares and Spice Must Flow. Just win the game. You get to 11 points. You might even win the battle point here. You're just good. And the insane thing is, she could pull Opulence for a point, potentially. Well, she ain't going to pull Opulence because she's already got Chome shares. But even if she somehow wins the conflict, she can even use To the Victor to pay for the Spice. What other moves are you considering here? Tezia is really heavily considering just going for the win here in the conflict. But I don't think she needs to worry about it. Especially when Ilban is sitting there with 3 endgame points. You don't want to be helping him any much. So here is Tezia. So it'll be 4 cards drawn. Does find Opulence. Tezia's not going to be able to get off the both Opulence and Chome shares. But it doesn't matter. She doesn't need to worry about it. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11 Persuasion. The interesting thing that's going to be to see is, does Tezia opt to retreat troops to protect the Bene Gesserit? Does she get put under enough pressure to feel like she's got to protect herself here? Elazari Kaz is short by a specimen. Before the Talaxu here, so she's going to Arakeen to try and pull one of her experimentations. They're both there. She doesn't find it. She doesn't find it. Wow, I think Eliza has to not bother with the Beetle then, because I don't see how she's getting any more card draw. I think I would just take the troop. You've got to put everything in here. You've got to pump this and try and get 2 points out of this conflict. It's why you paired it up with Fremen Camp, which is a good move, by the way. 9 Persuasion in hand. Well, 11, actually. The problem is she's got no way of getting to the Emperor here. So Plans Within Plans is currently doing nothing. Eliza's thinking about it, but the problem is you take the Beetle, but how are you actually ever going to draw more cards here? How are you going to get the experimentation? Like, you know, how are you going to get a card draw? There isn't any left. It's all gone. I don't think the Beetle is helping you here. I'd rather just take the troop. The troop and the water, I think, are the best things to take, but definitely the troop. Here comes the Fremen Camp here as well. So basically it's like a little mini highliner. It's all going in. She's after 2 victory points. The problem is second wave is kind of awkward here. It's only 2 swords. There's nothing else really to offer here. But I don't think there's a lot of strong competition. Lido's in a spot of bother. I don't know what Lido's going to do here. He's got hold of Paita. But I don't know where's a good place to send it. Do you just go Imperial Basin? Just to get the troops in here? You're going to get Spice Must Flow. And he's going to get his Specimen one way or another. So he's going to get his Talaxu point. So he's going to get to 8. Ooh. Tech Negotiation is an interesting move. Well, he can go up for the Spice now. He's not going to ever play Experimentation. He doesn't have to put a Negotiator down, by the way. It is an optional rule. He's not obliged to. Should be noted. So, buckets of that. Ilban's just going to reveal, because he can recruit mission, and he's just going to rely on Spice Must Flow and Spice Satellite. So he's going to finish on 9 points here, with 4 Spice Must Flows and 3 points from Spice Satellites. That is an absolutely cooked scoreboard. I've never seen anything like this. Absolutely wild. Signet Ring is a free move for Tessia. Just to Carfag and just put him wherever she can here. Hoping to find some combat. Illicit Dealings is found. I don't think that's any good for her, though. It's an Intrigue redraw, is what it is. Ilban's forgot to buy his specimens. They should probably just let him do it. But it's not my responsibility. Strong Arm is found. It's no good. That's what they always say. I think you officially meant to take the troops there, by the way. But for tiebreaker reasons, but whatever. But it's been a weird old match, this. I'd say one of the most curious matches I've commentated in some time. Not just in this competition, but like ever. It's been a really strange game. And like Force of Will and card draw has gotten Tessie Vernis probably over the line here. The question is now, it's a battle for second place. The problem for Alaza here is tie breaks. She knows Ilban's at 9. How does she win tie breaks here? She has to buy Spiceman's Float and hope she still wins the conflict. But I don't think she's going to. I think Tessie Vernis is going to play spoiler. Tessie Vernis is going to finish on like 600 points. Alaza's got to go Secrets. It's the only move. The only move is Secrets. 2 intrigues found. Might she get lucky and steal this alliance? No! No, their ways is no good, but Harvest Cells is a point! That is enough for the Talaxu. So it's better than nothing. And I think that's going to get it to second place here. Harvest Cells will do the job. Ilban's going to get robbed at the death here. Siege for Lido. Might as well. Nothing else to do here. I think you're meant to go and play Experimentation, but I guess the spice doesn't really matter because you're only giving the spice to a laser, so... So Tessia is going to win. We know that's the case. But I think a laser... Harvest Cell's going to get her over the line here. Just. She's 10 Persuasion, so you have to buy Spice. It gets you to 8. You're going to get second place in the conflict, which gets you to 9. And Harvest Cells gets you to 10. In a bizarre fashion. Really strange fashion, but it looks like it's going to be pretty effective here. Lido is going to be stuck on 8. I think Hershey will be disappointed looking at his bat as well. Hershey had a lot of cool potential with Firm Grip, some really strong cards, but it's just kind of not really happened. Gonna get to 9 points as well, but is behind Ilba. Oh no! No, Lido's gonna get third place. He's gonna get the Spice! Oh my god, Ilba after all this is going to be in last position? Wow. So Eliza loses a point, but it doesn't really matter. Eliza knows that she's, Eliza knows she's good for second. Hopefully. Well, it depends. Because Ilban have corner the market, he's playing like he's got corner. And the answer is he doesn't. So Tessia Vernius wins with like 13 or 14 points or something. Eliza is going to finish at 10. And steals the Talaxi point at the absolute death. Lido scrambles for third place. And after all of this for Ilban, he finishes last with one of the more bizarre scoreboards you'll ever see. What a match. Oh man, it's too true, Vernie. It's too true. So here's a look at the table after that match. Only 4 remaining in the group, 3 of them to be played by Frank. And Sandino's win here catapults him up to second place in the leaderboard, which would go through as a automatic qualification to the quarterfinals if he can hold it. But it's going to be pretty difficult with Shady Slayer having 1-2 from 2. Means that he's going to feel very likely to get himself through. So at the moment, Bafko and Sandino have got a big scrap for the final position, but they do not play against each other in the final game. So they'll be watching to see who the other result is. A bit on further down, I think Hershey will feel this is probably a little bit of a missed opportunity. Definitely probably should have picked up an extra point somewhere here or there, but that's the way it goes. Toll with 7 points from 3 games keeps his nose in this. It's going to be difficult to hold on to a top 6 place, you'd think, unless he can manage to get a win, or at least the second place might well be good enough here. Hershey probably feels they're going to have to win their final match. And Vernydub, with 4 points from 2 is okay, but with a couple of games in the bag still to play feel, they are still in it. So, yeah. A pretty all over the place game. It's one of the things I enjoy of covering the group stages is you get all sorts of different types of flavors of game. You get some where people play like super precise, you get some that play super fast, you get some really technical, gritty warfares, and you get games like this, which just felt like a real scramble for a lot of people. I do think that some folks were like having some tricky card draws dotted around here and there. There was a couple of misses of shipping. Ilban definitely, like, once Lido gets not picked in first position, it's definitely bad news for him. Although I don't think he expected to lose Mentat quite as much as he did. Ilban has had a truly bizarre game, really. I've not seen anything quite like that for a long time. Maybe it feels a little bit hard done, but they got last place in this game as well. Maybe that's right. But it was a wild game regardless. Tessia Vernius just grabbing Opulent and Chom shares, just brute forcing their way to the end here. Should we know as well with Tessia, by the way, didn't actually take the spice point from the conflict. I don't know if they realized they could do that. But the spice from To the Victor can definitely go towards the conflict. So they should have an extra point, but they didn't take it. And I'm like, well, what can I do? I can't tell them they've got to take it, sort of thing. So yeah, very curious match all around, but it was a lot of fun to cover. I'm glad I got to make it to this game and watch what was a pretty eventful match. Even if this maybe doesn't go down as like the highest quality preciseness game you're ever going to see, that's not what it's about. Something about just having a good old scrap and people just having some entertainment and playing some games and enjoying themselves. And I get the impression they all, to some degree, enjoyed the game. Maybe not Vernydub so much. It was a pretty bleak existence. But other than that, it was a wild game, this. So anyways, everyone, thank you much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this match. Of course, we've got plenty more coming from the tournament and plenty more matches probably like this still to come. I can't wait. Take care, everyone. I'll see you soon.